I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Elder Smith sent this TikTok video to me, and it's Trump speaking about what schools are doing as far as gender to our young children. And everybody seems, the Democrats and liberals, for them it's just, it's you listen to a piece I did earlier today about men finding it easier to marry a man and call himself loving a man in this day and age than it would be for him to love a woman. That they'll have better relationships, better understanding, et cetera, et cetera. I did all that today. But now what the homosexuals are doing is that they're going all the way down into the school classrooms and telling children that they're born with the wrong gender. The issue is that this person looks like Trump. I just have some suspicions as to whether, this was something that's been framed out, because I haven't seen it in mainstream media. But I'm going to take a listen to it. Mr. Roll that clip number 1 for a second, would you please?
No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth.
Mr. Engineer, I'm going to ask you to rebroadcast that just one more time, and I may even ask for a third time, because if people have not seen this, it catches you. You have to watch it a couple of times before you can really appreciate all that's being said and all that's being done. And this looks like Trump. There's a lot of AI stuff going on today. Everywhere you look, they're using AI over there in Gaza, the IDF against Hamas. A lot of AI. It may not be me. I may be AI. I'm the real deal, to be sure. But run this again, Mr. Engineer. I don't know if this is AI or what.
No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth.
All right, so I was trying to look at the coordination between his speech, what he was saying, and also his reading his lips. Is that what you're doing? To find out, okay, well, why try to break it down that way? What is being said is so absolutely true and blessing. But I don't see him as making that as a major part of his campaign. I don't see, mainly because, you got just as many homosexuals in, even though they may not be for these conservative regions, and deep red states having their schools teaching wrong gender, born with the wrong gender kind of thing. I don't see that happening. But what I do know is that you got just as many homosexuals in the Republican Party as you do in the Democrat Party. The Democrats do not have an advantage in terms of homosexuality. That guy, Matt Schlapp, who's the Conservative Political Action Committee, CPAC rather, Matt Schlapp, had somebody driving him around there a couple of months ago, about a year ago rather, down in Atlanta, a young man, and he reached over and grabbed the young man's junk. And y'all know what that is. And the young boy didn't like it. And Matt Schlapp tried to get him to go up to the hotel room, and the boy didn't like it. He reported it, sued him. I think they paid the boy something like $500,000, and so the case has been dropped. But Matt Schlapp is still the president of the Conservative Political Action Committee of Republicans. They're everywhere. Listen, Lindsey Graham. The thing that really I'm interested in is I'm trying to figure out what was the hookup between John McCain and Lindsey Graham. Everybody knows Lindsey Graham is as phony and funny as a $3 bill. Everybody knows that, right? So, John McCain, he had an arm, and I'm not making light of the fun of his deformity. I think they broke his arm when he was in Vietnam. He spent 5 years over there in Hanoi Hilton. That's a prison. But my thing of it is, Lindsey Graham's a homo. Now, you can have a relationship at distance with a person that's homosexual. You know the person's homosexual, but the person's not hitting on you. They're not flaunting their homosexuality. In fact, they may be in agreement with you that homosexual is wrong. And so you have some sort of relationship with them. But Lindsey Graham and the late Senator John McCain, I should say, they were very tight, very, very tight. So I'm suspicious. By the way, the fact that that Lindsey Graham is been going off and on Trump is amazing as well. I suspect that Tim Scott's also, and I'm talking about Tim Scott in just a moment, but I suspect that John McCain's a homosexual. But he and Lindsey were tight. I mean, they were too tight to be just policymakers, that kind of thing. They were tighter than tight. Now, I'm not trying to mar John McCain's his legacy. That's why, God forbid, I like John McCain for some reason, and his wife Cindy is now running the World Food Program. Cindy McCain. In fact, I was out in Arizona when he died. Elizabeth and I were in Arizona going back several summers ago. But this boy Tim Scott down there in South Carolina too, where Lindsey Graham. So both of South Carolina senators are homosexuals, right? What do you want me to do? Listen, S.S. Angela King. Both of the senators from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham is homosexual. Tim Scott's a homosexual. By the way, y'all know the other day Tim Scott got this white woman, right? And I think she got some money or something, or maybe she does, or maybe she doesn't. And it says that because when the buzz was going around that potentially that that Donald John Tribulation Trump was going to choose Tim Scott as his running mate, which would have been a grave mistake. Tim Scott proposed to this white woman, right? And we ought to call him Gummy Scott. That man got more gums than Wrigley's chewing gum, Bazooka Bubba Gum. Gummy Scott. I don't even know he's going to marry her now because I think he's out of the running. I don't think Trump's going to choose him. And Lindsey, and then the other thing is that Trump may not make it to the presidency, not because of the fact that people won't vote for the president. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that potentially he might not make it in terms of trials, courts, or other. But this guy who's a senator ain't never been married, ain't never been out on a date, ain't never kissed a girl, but, all of a sudden now he's going to get married to some woman. That marriage is probably off. It's been a marriage of convenience. Been a marriage like Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mack Daddy, Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mack Daddy, and Michelle, the fist bump of Obama. That's another convenient marriage, right? So, and that's what the homosexuals do. But everybody in politics, everybody kind of that's why I couldn't deal with that stuff. But that's what it is. So Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham, the senators for the state of South Carolina, where Sister King resides, they're both homosexuals. And I'm thinking that I might wrap this up by saying, what's John McCain?